r/AskReddit, what obsolete technology is still surprisingly useful? Wired headphones. Zero interference and no need to charge. Just have to find a phone or device that has a jack. Just bought a Lightning to 3.5mm adapter for my iPhone. It doesn't connect directly. You plug it in and then the phone prompts you to connect to the adapter via Bluetooth. Like damn, I just want the plug and play that existed for 70 years. People laugh at me for still holding onto my DVDs and Blu-rays, especially since I also like to stream, but when the office gets moved around to a new service for the umpteenth time and they don't want to take 5 minutes to find a way to pirate it, they'll be grateful for my box set. The really appalling thing that people who stream do is to also download to the cheap NAS storage available nowadays. Terrible, terrible people, I tell you. I still borrow DVDs from my local library. Cheapest streaming service there is, and with infallible quality control. They don't have bad movies. I feel like libraries fit the question too. It's mind-blowing how much they offer for free. I cannot even fathom how great they would be if they actually got the funding they deserved. I have my grandmother's hand-crank meat grinder from Germany. I use it only occasionally to grind actually meat, but if I'm making nut butter, running it through the meat grinder initially saves a lot of time, as well as wear and tear on the blender. Good way to dispose of a body. Mechanical clocks. Power does go out now and then. I have a battery-powered device in my pocket that is able to tell the time and usually lasts until the end of the day. Also, the power going out is extremely rare where I live. I've changed the batteries in my calculator once in 30 years. Analog radios. On the subject of radios, modern radios are absolute junk, can barely get the local station, whereas the old boom boxes from the 90s I could get stations 2 hours away from me. Got a SW radio for Christmas, had high hopes. Complete crap compared to the memories I had running the dials of my father's in the mid-80s. Mechanical buttons in car dashboards. I don't know why every control has to be accessed via touchscreen. Yes. You don't have to look at knobs and buttons as much. iPod/MP3/MP4 player. Phones can work in a similar way, but with their battery capacity, it's better to have a separate device for music or audiobooks. Physical paper calendars. Nothing beats the feeling of having a physical calendar on the wall which you can write on and check in an instant without having to pull out your phone. It's even better if you grew up with physical calendars. I hope dedicated devices make a comeback. I still use my 3DS for games, Kindle for books, and iPod in my car. Pager. Still used by the medical profession because it's more reliable in the hospitals where cell phones get no reception. My cousin is the service manager for the 000 emergency services paging system in a state here in Australia. Paging is still huge. Unless however. My hospital just wired up the entire building to get cellular and gets people to use their phones. Few wars where pagers don't work but Wi-Fi does. My 1995 Casio still has its original batteries. Do pagers and cell phone use different systems? For me, pen and paper. I prefer to write down stuff rather than type. I don't know why. Same. I always have a notebook and pen handy for writing ideas, research, lists, etc. I finally got a tablet, mostly for drawing, but I can finally write to text and it is glorious. I'm more excited about that than the drawing. I've missed it terribly. I remember things better when writing them. Muscle memory is a powerful thing. Zune. I can leave it anywhere and no one will steal it. Of course they don't know what it is either. COBOL, all the folks who know it are dying off and banks still run on it. Link. My company has almost phased this out entirely. My department used to use it and I loved how simple it was to operate. Now we use a newer program on our intranet that mimics what we used to use COBOL for, and it's nothing but a buggy mess. AM radio and ham radio. I wouldn't call ham radio obsolete, just obscure. Edit, it's an FX115W. Books. Actual printed books. Audiobooks, but with subtitles? /S. Books are like the internet only made of wood. Books are very much still being used and made, everywhere. In no way are they obsolete. Nothing quite as pleasant as staring at dead trees and hallucinating for a while. Pagers. After working at a hospital I can say those dams keep you updated faster than smartphones. Read the entire thread, nothing you guys have written is actually obsolete. Some dude said pencils are obsolete. Perhaps reading is obsolete technology. Having a map, and being able to actually read it. Just the basics of orientation and map reading are still so valuable. If navigation went down overnight, I don't think even 10% of people could get to their jobs even with a map. Let alone having any basic understanding of a compass or the being able to at least find the rough cardinal directions based of the stars. I'd say any basic practical knowledge like this is becoming more and more rare. As a student pilot, maps. So far in my training, we've been using maps as our main source of navigation and GPS as a sort of backup. This could just be because I'm a student, and this might change when I'm a licensed pilot. Solar calculator batteries. ITT people mentioning a bunch of things which are anything but obsolete, only not new. Feel like obsolete and still useful are mutually exclusive. CDs. Only our most recent car is post-CD player and I kind of want to buy an external one. We have a huge CD case and they're so nice on road trips. No signal issues, no cues or playlists to make, better sound quality, just pop one in and enjoy the songs the way the band intended. Printed maps. The number of times my phone has died while exploring a city has made me either memorize a city map or get a printed city map. Wood stove. Asterisk can get fuel with nothing more than a handsaw or axe, chainsaw helps. Asterisk very reliable. Asterisk does not need any electricity to work. Asterisk technically carbon neutral. Slide ruler. Living in southeastern NC, where we get hit with a lot of hurricanes and bad storms that constantly knock out our power. Candles. Landline phones. People think they are obsolete but they work where cell phones don't. They don't need bars. They don't need charging. They don't even need electricity so you can call emergency services when the power goes out for extended periods of time. You can also fax through a phone line which you can't with a cell phone. If my digital landline wasn't so inexpensive, I'd go back to analog landline in a heartbeat. Being able to talk over the other person without all the noise cancelling bullshit was wonderful. Landline phones. I know they still exist but we don't even have one. Sometimes wish I did when battery is dead or issues with connection. Landline phones are more reliable. I have a dictaphone I keep by my bed. I sleep poorly and use an old iPod with podcasts and a pillow speaker to try and sleep. Sometime I think of things or remember things or a podcast inspires something so I record it. Sometimes it is days later I download it and I am really amazed how useful my past self can be. I always thought he was an ass. Ms. Paint. Faxes for the medical industry. It's a surprisingly quick and secure way to transfer patient records. It's all done digitally now, for the most part, and can easily be converted into PDFs. And especially from PDFs. They'll accept characters in any language. Even handwritten doodles. Wired peripherals. They're just better. MP3 player. I don't want music on my phone. Eats up space and drains the battery. Also fuck shitty apps with ads. No. Cache. Yeah, honestly I hate the idea of having recorded data of every single thing I buy. Cars with manual transmissions. CRT projectors. If you can pick up a good one they will provide years of benefit. My place of employment has landline phones. Great invention. Lewis Lit, is that you? Regular old watches. Wear one every day for time and so I don't have to fool with my phone. Spirit level. Just using bubbles to figure out if things are level. Super quick and easy. Those are bog standard on any job site. Spirit levels are not obsolete. I have oil lamps and boxes of kitchen matches in 5 rooms. Besides being pretty antiques, they are good for power outages. I have hurricane lanterns and kerosene in the garage for power outages. First use the in the Peace Corps. Hello everyone. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to humbly ask you to subscribe to the channel. According to my statistics, 100% of my viewers in the past 28 days are not subscribed. I have always wanted this channel to reach 1000 subscribers, and if you want to support and be a part of that, subscribe. It's free and it's an awesome way to support the channel. Thanks again, Reddit glitch out.